Hello. Today I would like to talk to you about something that is very, very interesting. Well, it's life itself. Have you ever thought what life really is? I mean, science? Science is always going to the very profound stuff. We have to have criterias. Well, there are 7 criterias, and they are homeostasis, there's organization, it's metabolism, it's growth, it's adaptation, it's response to stimuli, and it's reproduction. That's all the 7 criteria that states or is stated by science as being life. But there's something very interesting. When a person dies, right after death, still the hairs are growing, still cells are moving, but this person is dead. And well, science has its criteria, but they can't really tell you what life really is. It's really mysterious to them. They have criteria, but they can't really nail it down. And human design, I mean, I tell you, since I'm in the knowledge, it's so interesting for me as a scientist. Human design has a solution to it. First of all, whenever there's a channel, we talk about the life force. So this is one of the criteria we have in life. So when we look at the design of a cell, for instance, we have the first channel, the first life force arising. So we have the connection between the G center and the sacral center with the channel 515 and with its gate 3. But that's not enough. What really makes up life are the crystals itself. So when we look at the cell, we have a design crystal that is called the cellular design crystal, but not only a cellular design crystal is there, but also the magnetic monopole. These are the minimum ingredients of life. So the design crystal that's built up cell, that maintains the cell, and the magnetic monopole that gives the cell its quote-unquote direction. And when it comes to human life, 2 crystals and the magnetic monopole needs to be there. The design crystal that builds up the body. The personality crystal, well, that's the passenger. And the driver, the magnetic monopole. And the moment somebody dies, the design crystal pairs up with the magnetic monopole and goes down into the earth. And 72 hours, the personality crystal can last. But you know, the moment that the most important ingredient, the design crystal and the magnetic monopole, are not there anymore, the person is dead. So we have really criteria that were described by the scientists as being life. We know what makes up life. It's the crystals and it's the magnetic monopole.
So Lynda, you're the Dean of the International Human Design School. So you've also been teaching classes for a long time, and you've seen a lot of changes to how education of human design system has been brought into the world. Can you tell me a little bit about how it's been changing over the years, but also where you see in your role it going in the future?
Well, human design has been around for, I think it's 23 years now. And I've been involved in it for 10 years. So I've seen a lot of changes in the education program. In the beginning, you know, we had to really sort of sort it out. You know, how do we present this knowledge? How do we teach others this knowledge? And so it was very simple in the beginning in terms of the education program. It was very quick. And then we realized over time that people really weren't getting the quality education that they needed to get. It's a system that has a lot of depth to it. And in order to really work with the information, you really have to have time with it. I think time with it is probably the key. So the education program is now a 3.5-year process. And if you want to become an analyst, there are other avenues to go down. But if you want to become an analyst, which is very rewarding, it's a 3.5-year process. So from the time you get your reading until the time that you finish the education program. And the structure we have now is very thorough. The foundation courses include the ABC and the Rave Cartography. Of course, ABC and Rave Cartography are really courses for the general public. But after you finish those 2 courses, then you're eligible. You have met the prerequisites to get into the professional level training. And so we have a program that you can get involved in, and it's a 1-year process where you learn how to take the information that you learned in ABC and Rave Cartography and synthesize it into a holistic process so that you can deliver readings to people that that can be truly profound, that can really give them information about themselves that can help them in their life. So there's that process, and then you also learn about how to do partnership readings. You learn how to do cycle readings, like Chiron return as an example, incarnation cross readings. So it's a very thorough training program these days, and it's evolved to something that is really good, in my opinion, after I've seen what I've seen over the years. It's really evolved to something that's really a tremendous amount of quality. So, and how I see it going in the future, I think that we're still finalizing and perfecting parts of the education program. We're getting close to having it really complete. We're probably about 90% there, so we're still filling in the blanks. We still have some student manuals to create, as an example. So there's a lot of work to be done. We still have a lot of work to be done, but we've made a lot of progress. And so I hope that we have more and more people get involved in the education program. It's not just about becoming an analyst. And, there's also opportunities to become a family practitioner, where you do analysis for families to help them with their family dynamic. There's BG5, which is the business part of things, where you can help organizations or help individuals understand their career for an individual, or the structure of a working group in a business. So lots of different avenues that you can go through on the professional track. So I'll have more to say about that in another segment. Thanks.
On this road to freedom, there's a understanding that for the majority of us, we do not initiate. We do not go out of our center. We do not go out of ourselves in order to make things happen. For the vast majority of people, that does not work. I want you to think of what it would be like to be a really wild animal. Now, when a wild animal moves, it's sensing what's around it to see what is there. It's waiting for something to show itself. It's waiting to see what's on the way. And it waits because it's got to catch whatever it is. We have to wait to respond, most of us, to what comes towards us. It's the beginning of acceptance. It's the beginning of relaxation. It's the beginning of centering down into the life itself. As long as you are in fear, and mind is another word for fear, you don't get anywhere. You don't actually get anywhere. You have to wait for it to come to you, and then you'll see what shows up. It's a surprise. The road becomes more of a mystery, because you don't know what's coming. I mean, truly, we don't know what's coming. We can think we know, but we truly don't know. So to be open to that mystery just revealing itself in front of us is what makes life fun. I mean, it's the beginning of the letting go of tension and the trust that whatever comes to us is correct. Strategy and authority, if we are correct in it, it gives a smoothness to the life. If you think of a wild animal, if you think of a cat moving, you know, a cat, if just before it's about to move, it'll go very, very still. It'll go very, very still, and as it gets in, it'll be ready to pounce. It gets to pouncing distance. In the same way, we wait for something to come, and then we can move into it. It kind of takes you. I mean, in a way, life takes you, and you witness it. The personality is a witness, cognition. It's something that you watch what happens as it comes to you, as if it was from a distance. You can see that no matter all the details in human design, the road to freedom is actually to be aware of what's going on inside you and around you at the same time. And they are linked. If you consider ways of looking to see what the transits of the day are, which will reveal in the way things move. It's like life becomes a teaching journey where you learn one thing after another, but you don't go after it. So I want you to be aware that everything that you're learning in human design is there to be background to your own experience. It's not the experience itself, it's just the background. It's an interpretive tool, and it's very accurate. The accuracy is amusing. You know, the kind of things that happen in life fitting in so perfectly with what we can read becomes a joke after a while. You begin to see the flavor of what's coming through you in this day. But I want you to think about it as this wildness that you have in you that keeps you alert to those changes. Ra often talks about sheep and wolves. The wolf is one who has its eyes wide open and its ears highly pricked for any sound, anything that's coming towards it. It's alert. The sheep are always surprised. In bringing yourself into your awareness of your difference, you become more, if I want to use the word wolf-like, I mean it simply as more natural, because it's the naturalness that we should have been and could have been when we first came into this planet. So I just want you to think of that. Think of that as a moving into life, all that aliveness that is in the moment that a wild animal has. You can have too, but you can enjoy it. You know, we don't have things, we are not prey for things anymore, except for our own minds, except for the propaganda, except for that imitation of useful awareness.